What's good, job boys? What's goody, man? Somebody dropped the video. A funky diabetic called Victor Wembanyama is breaking basketball. He ain't breaking it. He's just the GOAT. Hey, don't say a nigga breaking basketball when he the greatest player you ever seen. Nah, just say he's the GOAT. Victor Wembanyama is the GOAT. Word up, bro. That's the title of the video. He put breaking basketball, but I say the GOAT. Let's see it. Let's see what the dog talking about. Shout out to bro. Victor Wembanyama is breaking basketball. Let's see what the dog talking about. I ain't gonna lie. We know how I get about Wemby over here. Wemby goddamn season.
All right, boys. I want to talk about
Shout
Wemby
out, bro.
And the Spurs, but a lot of Wemby. Also, there's a sponsor in this video. Wemby is continuing to put up insane.
Hold on, who dog? Shout out to a funky diabetic. Hold on, shout out, bro. Shout out, bro.
All right, boys. I want to talk about Wemby and
Yes,
the
sir.
Spurs, but a lot of Wemby. Also, there's a sponsor in this video. Wemby is continuing to put up insane stat lines. Like, he had 8 blocks in a game recently, and I'm just like, yeah, that's Wemby. We all saw him lead off Christmas Day with 40-something. The things he does at his size, I'd love to watch him. As for the Spurs, they're a 500 team. They just had a tough loss versus the Wolves. That's okay. This is year 2 of Wemby. They're in a great spot. Mitch Johnson is their interim coach right now. Hopefully Pop's doing well. Hope we can see him on the sidelines again soon. Now, I'm mostly focused on the offense.
I want to see Pop. I want to see Pop back. I ain't gonna lie, cause well, I feel like I don't know. Look at my down. I ain't gonna. I gotta chill out. I don't know what Pop. I feel like his minutes for Wemby was different than what the interim coach got now. Because I feel like when Pop was on the sideline, Wemby you see him come out a lot. Pop, I feel like Pop he would savor Wemby a lot. But I feel like now, dog letting him play. Yeah, it might just be year 2
of Wemby. They're in a great spot.
But he just letting him play.
Johnson is their interim coach right now. Hopefully,
but he's not lying.
Well.
The Spurs are in a
We
great
can see him on the
spot.
sidelines
Victor
again
Wembanyama
soon.
year 2. This kid
I mostly am going to focus on
special.
the offense in this because defensively, like we all know, Wemby's a special player. When he's on the court, their defense is way better. And I think long term between him, Stephon Castle, Sohan, like all the pieces are there for them to be a great defensive team. So I just want to talk about the offense. We'll get into the rest of the guys, but just first for Wemby, I guess we could start with the 3-point stuff because that feels like the loudest conversation I've heard with Wemby all year. He's shooting 36% from 3 on 9 threes a game, and he's got a 60 true shooting. That is good efficiency. Now, of course, just ignoring the numbers and just when I see all of the 3-point attempts he takes, look, he's taken some that are like a foot or 2 behind the line, some early in the shot clock, all that stuff. Sure. If you go through every single one of those, there's going to be a few that you don't like. And it would not surprise me if we fast forward a few years if perhaps his 3-point attempts are a little down from 9 a game. Maybe he settles at like 7 or 8 a game. The point being is he's already establishing in year 2. You guys are going to have to worry about me from out here.
You going to have to come guard me. Because this is me. This is me. Like, what are we talking about?
Last month or so, Wemby ended up in the crosshairs of that whole thing a little bit. My counter argument to anybody who doesn't like Wemby shooting threes is, besides the fact that the percentages are good right now, is that it's really cool. And I do like whenever he's able to get
my thing is Wemby keep shooting, bro, because the second when he going 6 threes a game, then he go forward. What they got to say? Hell yeah, he's shooting 10 threes. Hell yeah, that's a lot. That's crazy, especially out of my 7-footer. That's damn near crazy. But you can't deny it. Like, you cannot deny what you're seeing. You can't deny that. When JJ Redick said, what the fuck is Wemby doing different this year? Bombing threes. Nigga pulling it 2 feet back. Easy money, cat. Like,
that isn't just the very simple top of the key, maybe a foot behind the line stuff. So let's say he and Chris Paul or Trey Jones are coming up the court at the same time.
The reason he shoots so far back, bro, he's so tall. It's not the same distance as it is for us.
Or they've had him in the occasional down screen coming out of the corner, or of course, you're picking pops with CP and Trey Jones as well. Like anything kind of extra, that's nice. Now, as far as his scoring within the 3-point line, one thing I've seen him do when smaller guys are switched onto him and they're trying to body him up and all that is he'll get his back to the basket and then he will go with kind of like a side dribble towards the free throw line.
Midi fade.
To where he can get the angle on them that way, which can then turn into either a fadeaway or just some scoop layup because his arms are ridiculously long. I remember him doing that specifically against Josh Hart as well as Malik Monk in 2 different instances. And actually, he used that also on Jaden in their last one, just against the Wolves, that turned into like a free throw line jumper over him.
I watched the last game, too.
As far as him
I
going up
messed up my audio.
centers, bigger forwards, all that stuff. Well, for one, this is why you want him to establish the 3-ball now this early, because it freaks out on the center.
No big can guard him.
Defenses answer tough questions of who you're putting on guys. But besides that, I mean, recently in the Wolves game, you got plays where like Gobert's dropping back on a screen, so Wemby's floating into a pull-up 2, or fadeaways over Randall in that same game. He did shoot 13 for 30, so it wasn't a perfect game for him. Then you had the Atlanta game where he does go 7 for 15 from 3, like that was the big thing. But also within that, like he beats Nance on 2 different face-up drives, one of which he draws a 3-point play where he got from the 3-point line to the rim in about a step and a half.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no coach. I ain't gonna lie. At this point, him shooting 15 threes, they want him to do that. I ain't gonna lie. They want him to keep shooting. There's no way he's shooting 15 threes and no coach is telling him slow down. They want that. They want him to bring the big out and say, yes, make your big come guard. That they are telling him. Ain't no way nigga shooting 15 threes and he's not getting, and he's shooting it and they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think like he's that blind to what he's doing. I think this nigga didn't hoop his whole life. This nigga know if I gotta get to the rack to get started, I'm gonna get to the rack. You know what I'm saying? I think they want him to keep shooting like that because like the nigga saying, bro, it brings your big out and now you gotta guard me out here. Now we can run 5 out and I ain't gotta run a 5 out. Now I got Jeremy Scohan cutting. I got my guards, these high flying ass guards who want to be dunkers. What's the fuck wrong with these niggas cutting and shit? You know what I'm saying?
Drives,
now Wemby throwing lobs, that's crazy.
Got from the 3-point line to the rim and about a
that's
step
what we
and a
be
half.
seeing. That's why Wemby be throwing these lobs.
Capella in the post with a whole bunch of up fakes and half spin moves and all this. And yeah, that was also the game where he threw the ball off the backboard and then dunked it. But then you had the Philly game where, I mean, his stat line overall was what, like 26, 9, and 4 with 8 blocks or something crazy. But Embiid played 14 minutes, and every shot that Wemby shot versus Embiid was a 3 that didn't go in. And I mean, I'm sure if Embiid played the whole game, there would have been some attempts by Wemby around.
My biggest thing with Wemby, bro.
The point being is, yeah, man, you're gonna see Wemby take.
You gotta get stronger, bro.
The strong big guys.
Yeah, you gotta get stronger.
Again, for me, I am willing to look past some of the threes as long as he keeps making them at a good enough clip, and he has been. Before we talk about Wemby and the Spurs some more, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Come on, I need it. Hey, bro, I've been looking for a SeatGeek. Like, bro, I be watching all these YouTubers. I ain't seen a SeatGeek sponsor in years, man. Golly, bro, I needed it a week ago. I ain't gonna lie, we're using your code when I'm trying to get to that Spurs game. I'm using your code, Funky10, man.
Celtics' upcoming home schedule
I'm trying to find a SeatGeek
not exactly stacked,
SeatGeek, come
no
with the
disrespect
kid.
to the Raptors or Pelicans and the Kings and everything going on there right now, but maybe not the type of games that I'm going to be super rushing to. However, they do go to Houston, Minnesota, and Oklahoma City pretty soon here. And if I wanted to fly across the country for one basketball game, then I would use SeatGeek for my tickets, as I have many times in the past. And you can use my code Funky10 for 10% off your next tickets at SeatGeek. And that is whether you are a new customer or nerd.
Goddamn promo.
Loves to wear Wemby and the post on some good stuff.
Shout
Besides
out,
that, just general off-ball movement stuff. Sometimes they'll have Sohan in the post on some like Warriors Draymond type stuff, and let's say Chris Paul will screen for Wemby at the top of the key to where Wemby can cut off of that, or they will have like Sohan screen for Wemby if he's got the ball, or somebody will screen for Wemby when he's in the dunker spot to where he can relocate to the free throw line and then get a pass from the opposite wing. Just stuff like that just generally keeps him moving. It's all good stuff. Now, of course, look, there are still turnovers, there's missed shots. It's not like he's shooting 1,000,000% every single game. And some of this does just come back to he still cannot just overpower everyone on the court possession.
You got to get stronger. You got to get stronger.
It's floaters. It's these fadeaways or whatever.
That's my biggest thing I noticed watching him.
He's definitely
he gets stronger, bro.
Like, you can see more moments of him just being too much physically for guys to deal with. But yeah, sure. Like he's still gonna have to put on muscle and all that stuff. Like we all know that. Not too much, of course, because the way he moves on the court just does not make any sense for his size. Right. So you want to keep that. Then as far as Wemby's passing,
it's not even put on muscle. See, that's the big thing we say when with these niggas. No, it's get stronger. This nigga may look the same. Nigga might gain 10 pounds, honestly, 5 pounds. He just has to get physically stronger.
Sure, like he's still gonna have to put on muscle and all that stuff.
Stronger,
like we all know that.
Imposing.
Not too much, of course, because the way he moves on the court just does not make any sense
and
for his size.
A lot of
so
it is really, if he just start lifting, he'd be
passing,
more confident.
He pulls out some nice stuff, man.
A nigga that
some of these
tall
times
is
where he's
already
able to
strong.
get free around the free throw line. Like a lot of these are turning into lobs or just passes down low for Sohan, who will be in the dunker spot or cutting. Or he'll be stationed somewhere, whether it's the elbow, top of the key, or whatever, for just random handoff actions where maybe, let's say, Vassell uses the handoff, or they might just fake it and he, like, cuts baseline and Wemby hits him with a bounce pass. There's been some good just flow of the game passes after he screens for, like, Chris Paul or Trey Jones, or maybe Sohan screens for him or whatever. He'll hit cutters when he's in the post a little bit, too. So, yeah, now, let's talk about the rest of the Spurs. Chris Paul is still the point guard, man. It's still skip passes. It is lobs to Wemby or lobs to Signing. Sure, and the Corpus fans have had some, I don't know, internet civil wars, if you will, over Sohan so far this season. And I mean, this last game, look, in the fourth quarter, the Wolves had Gobert helping off of Sohan, and it was kind of a problem for the Spurs offense to figure out. They almost won the game. Yeah, he didn't even hit the rim on the three at the end there where Harrison Barnes was open in the corner. It was a very tight window of time. There was like 2 seconds left on the clock. Dante was closing out hard. He chose to shoot it. It touched nothing. Whether it's guarding the opposing team's best guy, like he was guarding Ant in that game. Ant had like 14 points. Guarding Brunson in the next game, switching across the screen. Sohan, mind you.
I rock with so. He just got to be more downhill, more aggressive.
Sohan is just doing about as much as he can do around the fact that it's still the reality of what his jump shot is. But I'm not going to talk about Stephon Castle too much because I've already said so much. He was in my favorite players video. Talked about him in the draft class vid. The very short answer here, and yeah, he's worse lately. I know, like last 5 games. If he can just make shots outside of the paint, he'll be fine because the ball handling, the passing, the defense, all that projects very nice. Now let's go to Vassell. And if this team has a bucket getter besides Wemby, it's going to be him, of course. You can do whatever you want with these lineup numbers, but so far, the 2-man lineup of Wemby and Castle is better than the 2-man lineup of Wemby and Vassell. And also, Vassell and Castle together have been a big negative. And Vassell was hurt to start the season. He has had mostly a stretch of games here. He was out for 1 game, but he's mostly played in a lot of games in a row here. Just had a pretty good one against
the
Wolves.
He said if it's another bucket getter besides Wemby, it's Vassell. I ain't gonna lie, there's no cap.
My thing with Vassell as I go through a whole bunch of his shot attempts is he will occasionally pull off these really nice drives where he's looking shifty and pretty fast getting downhill, and he might even bust out some physicality around the rim to finish over or around somebody or whatever. But for his career, he's mostly just attempted way more jump shots than he has stuff at the rim, which is fine. And, I mean, he was the 11th pick in the draft, so having a guy who can be like a high teens, low 20s scorer on good efficiency, like, yeah, that's really good for the 11th pick. It's just if you are hoping that Vassell can go to this other level, then he's either going to have to become just a ridiculous shot maker on threes off the dribble, off the catch, pull-up twos. I mean, he was almost 50% from mid-range last year.
The Spurs want to develop these niggas. I say go get a nigga, man. Go get a guard, bro.
I might have said something about we'll see if Chris Paul being here leads to Vassell taking a lot more catch and shoot threes. I don't think they need a wing. That's been pretty much what it was last year for him. It's like 3.5 to 4 catch and shoot threes per game. And I'm pretty sure one of my questions going into the season was like, can Wemby and Vassell have this amazing 2-man game and all that? And I'm still holding out for it. It also doesn't hurt that Vassell's contract never hits $30 million and actually descends a little bit. Besides that, we got Harrison Barnes. He's solid. Keldon Johnson. Shout out Keldon. So there's the Spurs. They got a whole bunch of draft picks as well moving forward. Hawks picks. 500 team, a little over 30 games into the season. They're in an amazing spot right now. I understand like day to day if you just want them to win all the time. If you're a Spurs fan, like I get that, but they're in a really good spot. Anyway, let's do some like future trade stuff because why not? So we all know the De'Aaron Fox stuff is out there right now.
De'Aaron Fox, I like that. De'Aaron Fox don't got that chip on the shoulder to me, though. I don't
asked for a trade. I did a lot of this in my video already. But, yeah, the Spurs have been mentioned. And like I've said, there is no rush here. Wemby is in year 2. Things are going really well.
We can pass. Hey, we don't need De'Aaron. We can walk away from it. De'Aaron, you can keep walking, man. We want Melo.
Very good player, but also like he's made 1 All-NBA third team.
Like, come on, we don't want De'Aaron Fox. I ain't gonna lie.
I think if it comes to that he really wants out, that you need to push in not all the chips, but a decent amount of the chips. Right? You'd certainly get better right now. But long term, is that the best use of your assets?
Right, because we don't really want.
Example of it not working out for a team, which was Atlanta, and the Spurs are benefiting off of those draft picks. With the DeJounte trade, yeah, De'Aaron Fox is better than DeJounte, but the point being is,
he don't do what we need.
And it's not the one.
Right.
It feels really bad for more than 1 year.
Right.
And
he don't do.
Is like, look,
he just gonna take away from Wemby. Nah, yeah, De'Aaron. I ain't gonna lie, De'Aaron. We don't. Sorry, bro.
At some point, a big name player is gonna want out. I'm not gonna do the speculating on who it is. Somebody's gonna want out because it's the NBA, and that's what happens.
Facts.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, get me to San Antonio to play."
I'm telling you, I've been saying it this whole time, bro. Somebody is going to go play with Wemby. You niggas, you think niggas is seeing this and not saying I don't want to go throw it to nigga. Go score 40 while I chill. Nigga, what you talking about, Wemby? You think niggas not gonna want to do? Y'all niggas are crazy. Somebody is going to San Antonio. I don't know when. I don't know who. I know who I want it to be, but I don't know who, you feel me, is gonna be. Somebody is gonna go and join this man Wemby. He either gonna have to do a little talking, a little recruiting, come out here San Antonio, a bit vibe with these hugs. Or they just gonna come out there and say, I see what Wemby doing, I love it. And they gonna text him up, hit him on it. Word, I wanna come join you. We can do something special. Let's do it, kid. I wanna bring you to this level of greatness you could be. And it's gonna happen, and I'm telling you, somebody's gonna join this kid Wemby. telling y'all boys, I've been saying it.
Because we have a recent example of it not working out for a team, which was Atlanta, and the Spurs
Somebody
are benefiting
please
from the
come,
draft picks from the DeJounte trade. Yeah,
just
De'Aaron
come
Fox,
change
DeJounte,
Wemby
but the
career,
point being
man.
is, if you make that trade and it's not the one, it feels really bad for more than 1 year. And the other thing, too, is like, look, at some point, a big-name player is going to want out. I'm not going to do the speculating on who it is. Somebody's going to want out because it's the NBA, and that's what happens. Somebody's going to be like, yo, get me to San Antonio to play with Wemby. So we'll see there. The other thing, too, is like, this is the Spurs we're talking about, but I imagine the culture of the Duncan dynasty has still got to be there, and they mostly built that thing through the draft. Of course, they drafted Tony, Manu, and Tim, and then they traded for Kawhi on draft night. And I actually did like a quick little scan. They had a few years within that run where they actually didn't have their first-round pick, but it was like a little one-off years, and most of the time they did still have their pick. Now, of course, the culture in the NBA at that time was just different when it came to trading a bunch of draft picks for a star player. So for whatever all that means, I don't know. And sure, like Brian Wright is their GM now, but R.C. Buford, who's kind of rambling at this point, they're in a great spot.
Right, I was gonna say that nigga just talking. Shout out, hey, that was tough, Funky Diabetic. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. That was tough. Look, I just say, bro, somebody go join this kid, Wemby. Wemby, just keep doing you. Wemby, keep doing you. Keep developing. Keep getting better. Keep getting confident. Get stronger. Keep get as good as you can until, like he said, it's the NBA and somebody wants to come join this, man. When that happen, Wemby, just be special, be you, be great. Don't let them come take over your team. Remember, though, Wemby, that's one thing. Don't let them niggas come trying to run shit. No, Wemby, that's your city. That's your team, boy. That's you. San Antonio, that's you, bro. Shout out to you, Wemby. Love y'all boys, appreciate y'all. I don't know if y'all gonna watch this. I wanted to watch the video, so I clicked it and then hit start recording with it. So, man, hope y'all enjoy it, man. Love y'all boys. I reacted to the last Wemby game. Fucking audio was fucked up. Shit fucked me up. It's cool, though. Shout out Wemby, man. Y'all know how we feel about the kid. I hope somebody come join the kid, man. Come on, Wemby. Be special. Go get, hey, bring one of these niggas to goddamn San Antonio.